I don't think a lot of this music that we have would sell, because the bar would be set so high. And that's it takes a lot of people to make a movement to raise that bar, and that's pretty much what we want to do.
Why do you think that they package it so much in a certain way, like where they're going the direction with music right now? Is it because of corporate interests? Is it because they have a formula and they try to regurgitate the formula? And are they killing it?
Well, I think right off rip, money.
Mm-hmm.
Soulja Boy is a prime example of selling ringtones. So, if you can make the money, that's what it ultimately comes down to. But my problem is why you can't do both. Why can't you have the true talent and still make money? I mean, you got people that can do it both ways.
Right.
So I guess with that would be the primary thing. It's just diluted music, and it's easy to make.
Right. Now your particular music, you focus on a lot of different things, from politics, relationships, women, talk about life. Mm-hmm. You focus on a lot of different things. Anything in particular that you're focusing on right now, or any particular subjects or topics that really interest you that you want to try to put into your music?
Not per se. I'm focused on writing about. I went through a lot, mm-hmm. and I want people to understand my story. It's a little different. And to be able to listen to the lyrics and understand. I got a song called Back in the Day, so everybody stay tuned for that. Okay. But it kind of gives some background on my family, some personal issues. And I have a lot of personal issues that I want people, my listeners, to know about.
Tell us a little bit about that song.
Luxury Rollin'. So, I actually saw a Lexus commercial. I like Lexus. I can't hate. And I was like, we need something we can drive to. We don't need something in the club. I need to be on the radio and be, if somebody's driving, listening, and they're just riding, just cruising. And that's where the whole inspiration for the track came from. So I was like, let's roll with that.
Luxury Rollin', huh? So the inspiration was a Lexus.
Yeah.
A Lexus commercial.
It was.
Any particular songs that you really listen to, or that you put together and like, damn, I really like it? Or how do you compose a song, better yet, I guess the better question is, and how do you really feel it and wind up putting it on?
That's a great question. It comes to me different ways, honestly. Some days I don't even know how and where it comes from. I ask myself sometimes the same question. Majority of the time it's something I see or something I read or something I heard. Mm-hmm. I got a song, I give you an example. I got a song, I'm going to sample Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, get down! Like that part, I'm going to sample that and throw it in. I don't know why, it just fits. It's different, it just fits.
Right.
How I heard that, I have no idea.
Okay, but you just decided to just throw
him in.
Arnold.
Throw Arnold in there, got to.
Now, Johanna, I want to talk a little bit about you. You've been sitting there nice and quiet, looking all pretty and everything. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into music and what your current projects are, up and coming stuff that you're doing?
Sure, absolutely. I've been singing my whole life. Some professionally, some not. Some in the car and some in the shower.
Right.
Anywhere. And basically my influences come from when I was a kid. I was only allowed to listen to oldies and country, believe it or not.
Really?
That was it.
Now, when you say oldies, you're talking like the 50s, the doo-wop?
Yeah.
Or Motown, or are you talking like
Motown and doo-wop.
Okay, so we're not talking like Pat Boone 50s. We're talking
no.
Sam Cooke, Otis Redding.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then I think it was probably about junior high age, I started sneaking the hip-hop stuff and the rap because I wanted to know what that was all about. And I would do the tapes and I would record myself and I would just, make my own lyrics to all these different songs. So, right. And then eventually started, singing in clubs and things like that. And, so I'm basically recording at this point in time, writing music, putting some things together.
When was your first gig?
Oh. My first gig, I think it was in high school.
High school?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Let's take us back a little bit.
Oh, wow. We did a benefit. I was living at the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
And we did a benefit to raise money for a friend of ours.
Okay.
So we had people from all over the country, actually, because there were a lot of visitors, obviously, that like to go to the Grand Canyon. And we just did a concert outside on the rim of the Grand Canyon.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So are you originally from Arizona? Or
No.
Where are you originally from?
No, originally from Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So we got two country folks.
Hey, I'll bring it even more
Illinois.
country. I did spend 5 years in Tennessee on a farm.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, even more country.
I'm familiar with Tennessee. I used to live in Nashville.
Oh, Big Sandy, Tennessee.
Big Sandy,
It's
okay.
a tiny little town.
Wow. Even I don't remember Big
Yep.
Sandy. Okay, so let's fast forward. So now you're working alongside with Artistic, and you're
Yes.
representing all around entertainment as well.
Yes.
And you have some projects coming up.
Yes,
and
I
stuff
do.
that you're working on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and tell them about it.
Should I select? Yeah.
Okay.
We got she got a song called Body Play.
Okay.
Really, definitely a song for probably the bedroom, probably. A hot track, and then working on like a more up tempo song right now. We'll give you all the details on that later.
Soon to come out. Huh?
Soon. Coming soon.
We're going to get all your information before the end of the show, so everybody gets to know where they can go ahead and find you, as well as Artistic.
Absolutely.
And, I want to talk a little bit back to you, Artistic, about how you came to be. You hit, now, it wasn't all smooth riding for you.
No.
You hit a little bump in the road
Yes.
a few years back. And tell us tell us a little bit about that. Share as much as you want to share, and how you kind of got out of that funk and into where you're at right now.
Yeah, I shared the whole story.
Right.
A lot of rappers sell CDs out of their car, or they sell drugs, and that's how they make their money.
Mm-hmm.
Any business has to, and an artist is a business to some extent. You're your own entrepreneur. And an artist has to get that financial backing to make movement forward for advertising and everything you need to do. So I don't sell drugs, never had, and never really, that wasn't really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to have that quote-unquote drug hustle like everybody else. I needed to do something. So I put in 2 years worth of time at Ball State University, and was networking with everybody there, the Multicultural Center, the newspaper, the frats, the sororities, and just getting everybody on campus knew it's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to put on this big show. It held 3,500 people, 3,500 seats was the capacity. And basically, I just wanted to, even at, I think I charged too much for tickets, but basically I wanted to try to make about 10, 15 grand on the show, because it was all going to come back to me, minus expenses. And that was going to be the money I could put toward my investment, toward my future, and make the music thing happen. Well, basically, I put in all this work, and it just totally backfired. The owner of the venue told me day in, day out, he said, the show's going to flop. And I was like, no, it ain't. He's like, the show's going to flop. And it did. And he proved himself right. And I just previously, the year went up, 2 years before that, I did a show in my high school and packed the house. So I was like, okay, I can have those same results. And it went sour. So mentally, I wasn't prepared for that. And once it happened, I dropped out of school. Good grades, I had 3.2 at the time. Dropped out of school, and I just couldn't deal. So I went through about a year's time where I was just making all these depression songs. I still got a few of them actually, but that's pretty much how I coped through it.
Okay, and then after that, you kind of did a little bit of traveling out there. You kind of became somewhat of a vagabond.
I was a nomad. I had my everything on my back. No, I went to Maryland. I lived in Maryland for a while, in Elkton, Maryland, and it's like right by Newark, Delaware, like side by side. And then I moved down to Atlanta. Lived in Columbus, Ohio for a little bit. I'm actually sending you out of order. Lived up in San Leandro, California, which is where I was prior to coming to Arizona.
Okay.
So got to experience a lot of different walks of life and a lot of music, obviously. So that's that.
So how did all that traveling and whatnot, and then the experience that you went through, having the setback that you had when you were in college, how did that all kind of help influence? How did that influence your music, or has it helped influence your music or enhanced who you are?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's made me more hungry. It's made me more determined. I pretty much vowed. I called my dad that day. No money, college student, broke as ever. I called my dad and I said, I'm moving to Atlanta. And he's like, what? I was like, I'm moving to Atlanta, man. I'm about to make this happen. I'm going to make everybody mad and wish they came to this show. And I got videotapes of the show, so I have to show you that.